Welcome to another night of Live and Unfiltered. I'm Kia Nicole, and I'll be your host.
And I'm your co-host, Chanel Elaine.
And let's go ahead and get started. Now, I'm sipping on a little something, strawberry wine. What are you sipping on?
I'm sipping on Pepsi.
So, in honor of it being, I think it's like New York Fashion Week or something. I keep hearing or seeing a lot of Fashion Week and. So I wanted to dive into fashion a little bit. So we're going to talk about fast fashion versus, I call it slow fashion or sustainable fashion. So fast fashion, if you don't know, is the brands that many of us wear, such as Fashion Nova or Shein. Basically, they make their goods mass produced and they're usually cheaper quality for an affordable price. Fast fashion. Do you find yourself buying more fast fashion items, or do you have like a good mix of fast and slow?
I would say a mixture of fast and slow because I feel like with fast fashion, it is so promoted nowadays. All the sponsorship from Fashion Nova, all the sponsorship from like Temu, um,
Mm-hmm.
and she, all of them. So it's like it's being pushed. All the celebrities are wearing it, and they're pushing because they can mass produce and sell more, and sell faster. So I feel like that's pushed upon us. And then like slow, I feel like those are more so the entrepreneurs that are coming out with like their own style, their own brand, where a lot of them are doing it by hand. Like what's his name?
Shane Justin.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
How you know
He's an
that?
example of slow fashion. Yep.
That's who I was talking about. But yeah, so for him, it's like he tailored all his clothes. Like he does have help, but everything is like so meticulous, everything personalized. So yeah, it's gonna cost more. It's also not gonna be as widely known. He is big, but not as widely known as Shein and Fashion Nova, who can
Right.
produce 10, 15 of what he's doing. So I feel like it's a mixture of both. I appreciate both because it does take time to do either one, no matter how fast it is. But the money comes faster with fast fashion.
It definitely does. Some other examples are like Kim Kardashian with Scams,
Yep. Skin.
Wait a Man, by Jada. Those are
Yep.
examples, like you say, of entrepreneurs that they focus on quality and hopefully sustainable materials that, can easily be biodegradable or whatever. So you're going to have to pay a pretty penny, but the point is it's supposed to last longer in your closet. With fast
Right.
fashion, I find myself, I have a lot of fast fashion clothes because
Yeah.
it's constantly like shown to me in ads and they get it to me quick. And with fast fashion, there's like they keep up with trends easier because they're able to produce it really quickly versus those other brands. It may take them a while to get caught up because it takes them a while to actually produce it. So they kind of deal with seasonal clothing with like Fashion Nova in them. They be on it. Like they be
Right.
on it. You can find a duplicate for anything almost on those sites. So yeah, for me, I have a lot of fast fashion. A few slow, but not too many. All right, moving in. What do you believe is like a pro or a con of fast fashion?
A pro kind of touch on that. I would say a pro is more so having the fact that you can mass produce. So if you know you have this certain style of jeans and someone's promoting it, you know for a fact those, if it's a high ticketed person who's promoting it or have a good following, a loyal following, you know for a fact once they put that out, it's going to be rushed to the site and buy it because there's a code. So that I feel like is a pro. You can get more sales that way. You can also get your name out there faster for those that are smaller brands that are being promoted. You can
Mm-hmm.
also, it's probably more cost efficient as well. It's, a little bit more inexpensive, like you stated. And it's like, you can feel like you rocking what whoever promoted it is wearing kind of thing. So I feel like that's a pro for it. I feel like the cons is that it takes away from people who are entrepreneurs, like I stated, people who are taking the literally like, day and night trying to get a little outfit together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does take away from that. I feel like it take away from their hard work, and they're putting in more effort and getting less, and they're because of that, their price have to be ticketed a little bit higher because of their work, the materials, and all that they need. So, those are my pros and cons.
Yeah, also, I feel like with fast fashion, I guess I'll start with the con with fast
Uh,
fashion. There's always the question of whether the workers are working in humane working conditions.
mhm.
So we don't usually think about that when we're purchasing the goods. It's like, Cool, it's on the website, looks cute, I'm gonna buy it. We don't think about who produced it, what working conditions they're in, if they're getting paid minimum wage or just a couple dollars, because some of them are getting paid literally like $2-3 an hour, which is like pennies, you know, when we think about it. So we don't think about that, but that's definitely a con. Versus slow fashion is usually the entrepreneur, like they're usually very hands-on, or they have a select number of workers, and you know they're given minimum wage or a little bit more. Like I know Jada said that she pays her workers very well, you know, compared to the average. So they usually, you know, pay them pretty well. You don't have to worry about that. For fast fashion, I think a pro for me being the consumer is just that it's affordable. Like it's affordable, and like I said, it's trendy. If I see, oh, I see a lot of girls wearing, you know, skirts or something that is popular, I know I can easily hop on those sites and find something that can easily be duplicated or something that I like. So they're always staying on trend. So I do like that about fast fashion. Another con is that it can be hit or miss with the quality.
True.
And I don't know about you, but I do not like Fashion Nova's return policy. So if I can't fit the item or it rips or something, unfortunately, I'm just stuck with it because I'm not about to spend $20 to send it back to California. Like, I'm not doing that. So
I don't
it just be hit or miss.
Their products either, baby. If it fit, it fit. Or just sit there until I give it away. I'm not because then I got to turn around and pay for shipping and then turn around and then what if? Nah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I don't even know why they're making us pay for shipping. That is
because it's more. I feel like it's more tedious for them to have to take back something that was already tried on by someone else. You know, for legality reasons. Like usually, once you try something on or you have that 30-day policy or whatever, you're really not supposed to return to the store. But you know, sometimes people bring it back and like, oh, this can't fit. Like, oh, 3, 4, 5 months later, knowing that it's, you know what I'm saying. So I feel like they lose their money on it, and the product also loses value because sometimes it's season based. So if it's in for this season and then you bring it back 4 or 5 months, what are they going to do? They're going to take it back, lose money. So they're kind of like making up for the end of it. They're going to have you pay shipping so it doesn't come out of their pocket.
So. Yeah, so I think that's a pro of like slow fashion, like those brands that really take pride in their work. Their return policies, I feel like, are way better. You're able to return it, and maybe the customer service is a little bit better with those brands too. So that's a comment. I don't know. Like I feel like, how do I get in touch with customer service? It's like, is there an email? I'd be so confused. So I just take my L's and just move on and just know to read the reviews a little further. All right. Staying within the fashion topic, what do you believe is like a fashion hit or a yes for you, and what's a fashion no or a miss? Hit or miss? What's a hit? What's a miss?
For me,
that's trendy.
I can't think of one as of right now, but I feel like fashion wise, I would say pants. Because like there's different styles of pants. I could touch on clothing, like different styles of pants. I feel like sometimes, like for Fashion Nova, their jeans are gonna fit me different than Shein. Almost always. Fashion Nova, it's almost like you kind of can guess your size based on buying a few things. Shein, like you said, is kind of like, well, I thought this could fit me. I don't bought clothes with like a size that I was, and when I got it, it fit like 2 sizes smaller, and I'm like, wait, I bought it based on what people said, based on the reviews, based on the size and chart. So I haven't really had that much of an issue with Fashion Nova, but with Shein, I do. So like you said, it's different companies that are producing it. So I would say like the style of jeans are nice. Fashion Nova also have a variety of those. So I'll say for me that'll be something. What was the other part of the question?
Like, what's a miss? Like a miss? Something that maybe
I'll say,
something that you probably wouldn't wear, but you see others wearing.
I would say, what about those little shoes? The little red shoes that had came out a while back? Oh my.
Yeah, those are definitely a miss. Thankfully, I don't think people really rock with them too much.
It's not, but when it came out, I was like, okay, this reminded me of like a Mario character. You know those, you know. So
yeah, I have a video game.
But yeah, once somebody wears it that has a name, like I said, it's gonna carry, and then everybody is gonna find the need to put it together with something, even if it ain't cute. And they probably wouldn't wear it, but because someone that does have a name and a following wore it, they wore it too. So, like certain type of styles of shoes is just like a miss. Like I don't know. I'm just like, you know.
Do
And then
you
something
like
else.
the shoes that are like they're shoes, but they're like pant shoes? Do you like those? Like the little pant
Like
shoes?
the Bottegas, whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
Or the Balenciagas. I meant.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah, I'm thinking about something else, y'all. Those are okay. They're cute, like the little shop. I can't even talk.
It's okay.
Shop.
Try again.
Sock shoes. Shoe sock.
Yes,
Whatever.
that's what I'm talking about. Yes, those
That
sock shoes.
I feel like they're nice on certain people with certain outfits. Me per se, I probably wouldn't wear that. Like I don't like the ones where you put your feet in and it has like little toesies.
Yes, that's weird.
I don't know what it is. I know it's a fashion trend. It's very style. It's very chic. That is fashion, and you do kind of have to have a really good high fashion sense to realize that that's fashion. But I feel like if you went inside your fridge and like took out a box and cut it the right way and put it on, you're like, wow, fashion. And once it hits, everybody do it. So I
You
feel
just
like
need the right person to promote it. Like you
right,
say, the right
right.
influencer, the right celebrity, and it's like it's a
Right,
hit.
because a lot of these things that do go viral and
They
do
be
have
ugly.
that popularity, it don't be it, boy. I'm like, hold on, we could go on in and fashion over and revamp this. But to us, it doesn't look like that. But to people that are influencers, they're like, oh, let me take this thing and turn it into this. And then it just kind of gets pushed. That's why, freaking Shade Room is always like, oh, well, what do you think about this? And then people get their comments on it. So a lot of times I just feel like they just kind of look at stuff and say, hey, this is going to hit, and then this is what you should do. Like backwards, like wearing your jeans backwards was like, from back in the, what was it? What am I thinking of? Anyways, there's this guy. He had posted something on social media and he flipped his pants backwards, and I was like, "Oh, I don't think I would wear my pants backwards." But that was his brand. That was his thing, and because he is in the popularity realm of things, people shop and buy it out, and I'm like, or we could just wear it the other way. But again,
What you say? He was being
I'm just
innovative, so he
right,
was
right.
being
I'm
innovative.
like, okay, it's cool. Like I get it, but it's just I feel like if you, like you say, if you have the right person who can put the spin on it or just bring light and shed light onto it, anything can become fashion in a sense. It's just how you look at it. Abstract art.
Yeah, for me, I would say I see a lot of girls wearing skirts, like the tennis skirts, but all types of skirts, not just tennis skirts, like
Mm-hmm.
skirts with a nice print, a lot of mini skirts, jean skirts. So I really like the skirt era that we're in. I think that's a hit,
It's
as
cute.
well as animal print. I'm seeing a lot of animal print making a comeback, like leopard prints. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, that's a hit. I mean, I got one in the closet, maybe a couple, really, two or three, but I be hesitant to wear it because I'm like, is animal print still in? Because sometimes they go out of style, but sometimes I think I need to get out of my head. And regardless if it's in style or not, wear it. You know what I'm saying? If you feel confident in it, wear it. You don't always have to follow the trend. You
Right.
know, you can set the trend sometimes or just do your own thing. So I be trying to make sure I'm staying in trend, but sometimes I need to just get out my head and wear it anyway because
You
now it
got
done made a comeback and I just left my pieces sitting there because I'm like, well, I don't see too many people wearing it much. But yeah, that's something that I see is
I
making a
agree,
comeback.
sis. I like the pleated skirts, like the
Mm-hmm.
little cute little mini skirt. I think those are so cute. I'm like, I remember that from my childhood. So I'm like, that's just so fun that they brought that back. I'm like, I own a few.
Mm-hmm.
I don't be outside with them like that because they're very short. It's giving mini. Like mini skirts was a back in the day thing. I remember wearing that in fifth grade. Like it was above my knee, and I know they did a little finger test, and I had to stop wearing the
Mm-hmm.
full skirt. So back in the day when you didn't have uniform, that was the thing. You wear your cute little skirts and all that, and so I like that they're bringing it back and they're putting a twist to it. Now it's like super cute to go out in, and it's just fun.
Mm-hmm.
They're bringing a more fun, preppy side to it. So I like that.
I cannot wear the super short skirts. I'm sorry. Just
It's
because
just right.
it's
So
too much pulling down and
uh,
I'm not comfortable. If I don't feel comfortable, I'm not gonna go out in it. So they're
right.
cute if you're just doing it just to capture a little content and take pictures. and then take off. But I can't actually go out in the short mini
Right.
skirts. They're cute on the girls though, but I personally need mine like middle of my thigh or right above my knee. And then anything lower, that's a different type of skirt, but I'll take them lower too. I just can't do the mini skirts.
It's giving church if it's below.
Anything lower than the knee is giving church, huh?
Oh, it's giving church because you can't be in church with your knees out nowadays. So
and that's how I was raised, man. I always was like self-conscious, making sure that it's the proper length. Even going to school, I don't think I ever really wore a mini skirt to school, to be honest.
I did back in the day because at that point in time we didn't have uniforms yet.
Yeah,
so it was
we
kind
didn't even.
of yourself. You just thought you were so cute in 5th grade, 6th grade. You didn't really know much about fashion, so you just put whatever you wanted to put together. But I was always into clothes and stuff, so I just liked the things. But as long as I didn't wear uniform, I was okay with it. But then they're like, skirt is a little too short. I had to stop. Then they started coming in with like you couldn't wear the little half dresses that you used to wear with
the top type.
Right. So jeans jacket over it. Then they started making you like remove the jacket and show them that you had it on there.
I'm like, dang, that's a bit excessive. As long as I'm covered up. Now that I thought they took that a little too far.
Right. Those changed in school, but back then, yeah.
And then I think with sandals, it's like at one point we couldn't wear certain sandals. I'm just like, what? It was just sandals was my thing. I wasn't really a huge shoe person until later on.
You know what shoe that I like? I'm like, now I'm thinking about it as you're speaking. I like that we're bringing back like a lot of hair accessories, which is so cute. Like the little barrettes and stuff. I wear those and I'm an adult. I just think it's fun, it's cute because that's a part of like your childhood. And now, you may have, like for example, me, a kid that's a girl. So I'm going to, have those childhood things back in her as well.
Right.
But I like to wear those. I like those, the little headbands. Like I just think that's so fun. The bows, the little cookies and stuff. I just think that's cute. So I do like the fact that we're.
I remember we used to wear the little hump hairstyle. Oh my goodness!
Everyone, the little hump and then your little bun. Oh,
boy, hump hated to see me coming.
Hello.
I thought I was so cute.
That is funny.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I used to like the little side bun. When you slick it back and had the little bun to the side.
Yes. Side bun, side ponytail. I'm like, which side of my head I want to do today?
Oh my goodness.
Yes. I used to kill it with the little side ponytails and stuff. Now a miss, I will say, I couldn't really think of a miss for real, but are you seeing a lot of the girls like dressing up jerseys? Maybe because it's football season, but I'm seeing a lot of that. It's not really a miss.
I don't think it's a miss if you style it
correctly.
Right.
Yeah. So when it's done correctly, it's real cute. But like if you just throw it together just to have on, then it's like, But like I said, it's not really too much of a miss. I just couldn't think of any other miss, so that's the only one that I would say. But when done correctly, I actually like it when they know how to incorporate the whole look and bring it together. So that's the only miss I could think of. All right, let's move into the current events. That's enough talk about fashion. We will start with Mr. Kendrick Lamar headlining the Super Bowl for New Orleans next year over Lil Wayne. There's a big uproar about that. People that's not sitting well with their, with their soul. The fact that Lil Wayne is from New Orleans.
Right.
He's from New Orleans and he can't even headline it. And then there's an interview they pulled back where he said he would love to do it. He just has never gotten a call. And he was like, oh, yeah, it's supposed to be coming around 2025, something around that year. And he never got the call. And how do you feel about that whole situation?
I don't know much about it, but from your brief synopsis.
You ain't got no much. That's all you need to know. Is that Kendrick is doing it and Lil Wayne ain't.
Explanation. I will say, one, that's messed up because he's kind of like the quote unquote king of New Orleans. Like that is like where he's from and homebred. So I feel like they should have given it to him only because it's like, he would have represented his city real well. And I'm pretty sure people would have turned out en masse because the fact that he put his city on like that, and he has been for years. But contrary to that, I will say the reason why I felt like Kendrick would have gotten it is because he's released a recent hit that has gone so viral, and he's been able to stay so relevant as opposed to Lil Wayne. We still singing Amelie and
No, he has other music. It's just
he
it's not
does,
TikTok worthy.
right. It's not as trendy
Yeah.
right now. But back in the day, let me tell you, anything Lil Wayne dropped, baby, that was me. I said, oh, I used to love me a Lil Wayne, child. But I do understand why that they're basically, rolling with the times and the culture and the what's popping, what's trending, and that's
Yeah.
everything. Like, hop on a trend, once it died down, you hop on something else. So people are chasing that trend. So in order for them to really get the turnout that they want, there is a lot of Kendrick fans.
Yeah.
I do like some of his work that he do put out and produce. I just like that he's very intentional when he puts out music. It's not like he put out something and pull a Drake on us and draw four. He don't.
Not too much on Drake.
The,
Not too much
it's
on
not
him.
even.
Not
It's
too
not.
much on
I
him.
like Drake. I like Drake, but what you're not gonna do is just hop on a train because it's trending. That's kind of like him. With Kendrick, I feel like he's more strategic. Like he sit down and be like, "Ooh," like he's gonna make you think about the song, and then you're gonna find all the puns and the play on words. Drake is more like, "Oh, I need this to go in the club and be a hit," and he gonna hop on the next
And
track.
it
I
be
feel
a
like it's like,
hit.
but the problem is Kendrick don't need that clout, baby. Drake does.
Drake don't need the clout either.
He do hop on them little girls, the little sexy reds and all. You notice he ain't running behind sexy red like that no more.
But why? What do you think is the reason why?
When she first came out, she was hot and trendy. So what happened? He stays relevant in the
Okay, I agree
times.
with
Now,
you there. He does. She
okay.
stay with
So
the
that's
young
that. Now,
crowd.
mind you, I like Drake. Now, I'm not saying like, oh, I'm just an anti-Drake fan. I'm just giving you an example why I feel like Kendrick got it. It's like he's very strategic. He knows how to captivate his audience without having to forcibly put his song or like collab with anyone. That's kind of like how I look at it. He's more like he put out more quality and Drake put out more quantity. I feel like Drake could put out more songs and it's like a few of them be hitting out. Let's be honest, Drake has put out some albums that I listened to and I said, oh baby, I like one song, two, three.
No, it was
And then
the pop album. I was
there,
like,
there's
what is this?
there's some hit or miss with him, but then with Kendrick, it's like
It's
some of
hit
his
or miss for me too. I can't get into Kendrick.
some of his because he's more. Oh
Too
my God,
deep.
he's more like he's deep, and I'm that type. I'm like that. I'm logically speaking. When I'm thinking, I think very deep. So like when he hit words, I'm like that person who listen to a song and I'm like, oh my God, he said this, and then this made sense. And then it's with Drake. It's like, all right,
I
bounce
want
straight.
to just feel good. I don't always think deeply all the
So
time. I want to be able to just vibe. I'm not about to say put on Kendrick as I'm pregame and turn up.
The point of music though is not just to always be dancing and shaking.
There's
The point
multiple
of music
points.
is to evoke like some kind of emotion and feeling. So it's kind of like damn, especially when he dropped that album, and Zoe was talking about it when he was talking about OJ and the glove. Like nobody caught what he did, like the play on words that he did, but like only a few people caught it, and he's just I don't know, he's just
So
he's a
you're
lyric.
a Kendrick fan.
No,
Heard. Didn't even
I'm
know
not.
that.
I'm in the middle, but I'm just trying to show you why I felt like because of how strategic he's been and how he's been able to get the audience. He didn't need a collab. How he's been able to stay so relevant. So people are tired of his songs. That's how much it gets played, and it's like that one hit song. So it's kind of like he ate
Yeah.
breakups. He ate them up real bad and spit them out. And now I feel like he's given the opportunity to really shine because he doesn't get as much clout. Really, he doesn't because he doesn't.
I think it's that song that did it because before that, who was really checking for Kendrick? Nobody
There's
besides
something
his
else
fans.
for him.
Besides his fans, the rest of the world was not really checking for him until that song became so popular. And then it's like now it's like oh. And so I think the move was strategic on the Super Bowl's part. Whoever's in charge of choosing the artist. I
It could
think
be
it was a
a fan
strategic
favorite
move.
too. It could be where they have. It could be a fan favorite. It could have been where they compared maybe what Lil Wayne had done recently
Yeah,
and what he did
could
compared.
have
No, it
been.
could be that, or they could have had like, okay, sometimes they have people behind the scenes that may vote, and they say, okay, you know what? Just like when they do the BET Awards, like when people come out and win, they be like, oh, the fan favorite, and I'm like, I never voted for that person. What you mean the
Yeah,
fan
I don't know
favorite?
how they get
But
them numbers,
it's
but I guess
people that
people
are
do
like,
send in.
right, there's people that are behind the scenes or know a little bit more, and it's like, okay, we see this working, market strategy and all that stuff. So,
Yeah, I think it was a strategic move. Do I agree with it? I feel like Kendrick Lamar is a great artist. I will never take that away from him. He's a true lyricist. Like it takes someone who is educated enough to understand his lyrics, which I am. I understand his lyrics, but sometimes I don't want to think. Sometimes I just want to feel good and not have to think too deeply about the lyrics. But that doesn't take away from his craft. Like, the man does his job and he does it well. Like you said, he puts out a lot of quality pieces. When he sits down and write his own music, no ghostwriters. He, you know what I'm saying? He really, it's all him. It's all him, you know, and his intellect. I love that. Pure genius. However, I feel like he could have headlined the next year, but who knows if he would have been as relevant next year. But
Right.
New Orleans, like, had it been another city, I would have been like, yes, cool. He's super relevant right now. I understand why they made that money. But it's kind of
Now,
like,
like I say, I do agree. Him and Lil Wayne both are great artists, but I do not agree because it is New Orleans. I feel like it would make sense to put somebody on from that city who like
a
literally did
native, right?
right for
Just
so
how they had Usher in Atlanta, right? Isn't that what they did?
for so many years. I think so. So I'm like, for him, I just felt like this would have been, if anything, it's like, this would have been the chance for Wayne. But I also look at the fact that Wayne has been celebrated so much, so they probably like, okay, well, let's just give Kendrick a chance, kind of thing
Yeah,
too.
but
So,
like, has he ever done a Super Bowl? I don't know. Has he?
so Kendrick, I think he's been pulled out on
No,
performance.
Lil Wayne. Has he ever headlined the Super Bowl before?
Not that I know of. He may have came out on like a part, did a little something and
That's
left,
what
but
I'm
not carried the whole
saying. Who
thing.
knows the next time he's gonna be in New Orleans?
And he would have to carry that show, that whole show. The energy got to be there,
Yeah. So I'm
you
like, he's
know.
only getting older.
And the relevant songs that majority of the audience know is from back in the day. I'm not gonna hold you. He do
No,
have
I
hits,
feel
but
like Lil Wayne could definitely carry the audience. Like, there's people in high school, middle school now know who Lil Wayne is. So he definitely, simply because their parents, you know, are still maybe listening, or they put them on or whatever. Lil Wayne is still very much relevant. However, I feel like Kendrick Lamar, just like that song, that little beef or whatever, just really catapulted him and brought him another type of recognition. Like, before, he had his select fans, and now it's like
he
the whole
gained
world is
right,
celebrating this song.
right.
So I
Yeah,
think it was, like I said, it was a strategic move. Can't hate them for it. I understand right now Kendrick is maybe just more relevant to the world in particular
yeah.
because the Super Bowl, you know, it's a national thing. So they probably thinking about everybody when they choose their guest. It
Majority.
is what it is. It sucks. Heart goes out to Lil Wayne because I know he probably felt like, dang, my hometown, and y'all can't even. But hey,
Who's to say though that Kendrick
hopefully he
won't
bring him
bring him
out.
out? I was gonna say, who's to say he don't bring him out or do some type of special appearance or something to just, kind of just,
They can pay
celebrate him.
homage.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully. All right, let's move on into the last current event. So, our beloved Rich Homie Quan passed recently at the age of 33, I believe. And I
34.
just remember listening to him on what,
34.
middle school? Was it middle school, high school?
34.
Or was it 34? I don't know. I Googled and it said 33. Either way, one of those ages. And I just want to know. So let's reminisce. Like, what were some of your favorite Rich Homie Quan songs? So you can name one.
Um,
Whatever you can think of. If you got
like
to sing it, you can sing it.
I like Flex.
Mm-hmm. So you sure you're not drinking? Your eyes be a little low. Or are you tired?
No, no, I'm reflecting. I'm sorry. No, all I had was Pepsi. That's it. But I like Flex. I like all the mainstream known songs. I didn't really listen to anything that was as recent of his. Just kind of like what we're used to back in the day.
Yeah, I think he had a recent song actually like this year or something, but I didn't hear it.
Differences, I think, is what it was.
So I'm gonna
Difference.
go back and listen.
It's
We
okay.
definitely need to run up the streams.
It's a pretty good song. It's just like, nothing like a
Like the old back in the day
right, the
songs.
older, right. Like, and he
Yeah.
carried that for so long. So
It's crazy. I think we used to listen to him in college too, because he definitely came out around that time. I was in high school when he came out.
no,
And I think
no, I
2014 was the year that he like
think it was 2012, 2013,
2013 when he came out.
something
But
like that.
2014 is what I really remember.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Flex is a good one. Walkthrough is a good one.
Yep.
Type of Way. So
Mm-hmm.
like those mainstream songs that was played on the TV. Not
Outside
look
of
at me.
them, I'm like, I know Quan was in some other songs. I just can't like.
I had to go back and look at the album shot because I don't be knowing names. Tell Them
Right,
was a good
like
one. You got to go back to Tell Them.
type away, is
Type
already
of
known.
Way is good. Walk Through. Milk Marie.
Those are the
You
main
know
three.
that's a nasty song.
Uh-huh.
You remember Milk Marie? If you hear it, you remember it. But that was a popular one too. It's probably more, but them the ones I can think
So
of.
there's like a main 3 to 5. Now, if you're like a diehard fan and you know his most recent, then there's like, yeah, but I like his song from back in the day. Same thing with Lil Wayne. I feel like they may have hits now, but
That
it was something
yeah.
about back in the day. It's like, and also too, I felt like with Quan, we were coming up with him. Like, even though he's older than us, by a couple of years,
Mm-hmm.
we were coming up with him. So it's different when it's just kind of like, oh, he looked this way, he sounded this way, and he's bringing that like Atlanta, the ad libs and this and that. He's just bringing that culture in his
Mm-hmm.
song, his voice, the way he talks. And he has a very good, like, personality, very funny,
Yeah.
very much like he's able to draw the audience in. So he, of course, would have blown up, and that was like the Atlanta. Back then, like, he really carried Atlanta, I will say. He really did. For our era, our
He
time.
did. That's definitely our generation. Welcome everyone. Not Javante talking about okay kid with the bust down. Boy,
I don't see
what do
no
you know
comment.
about bust
I
down?
don't see no comment.
But thank you for the compliment. I don't want to be rude. All right, so we're gonna talk about so not long after it was announced that he passed, Erica Banks posted pictures and videos of the two being together, all lovey-dovey. So apparently they were a thing, but just in secret. How do you feel about that? Do you feel that it's a little distasteful? What's your take on it?
Um, I mean, I guess I'm gonna give two different sides to it. One, I feel like
Mm-hmm.
out of respect for his family and respect for his long-term girlfriend, I think of it, it's like 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And out of respect for the kids that are gonna grow up and see this, I feel like as a woman, as a lady that you carry yourself as, you would have more respect not to disclose that. That's probably something like you could disclose in private to her and be like, hey, now that this kind of came out, whatever the case, out of respect for her. If she didn't know, that's one thing. But if she didn't know, you could have been like, hey, as a female, this will happen, da 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 da. I do want to show my respect. It's not that you're looking for an okay from her, the girlfriend, to post him. But at this point, I mean, they always say what's done in the dark gonna come to light. And baby, did it come to light?
But she
So
wasted no time.
let me finish now. Let me finish. So I understand. I understand, but that's the approach I feel like she should have taken, is probably disclose that more privately to her and maybe say, hey, out of respect for you, I do understand y'all had a relationship, but so did we, or whatever the case was. And just kind of give her a heads up just so, all this is not shocking her at the same time we're getting shocked. She's at least knowing ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
Who's to say she doesn't know? But I just felt like the way it was done, like right after he posted, like, dang, you spoke out as a side piece before the man had a chance to speak out. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But clout is a drug, honey. It really is. Sorry, that's play on words, but it is.
Yeah.
Because of the situation. But I felt like she just dropped, like she was just holding on to something. You're just trying to hold on to something like, oh, I got you. I feel like that's what was given. It was very much given like, ooh, let me drop this so I could prove a point. And then it's kind of like at the end of the day, I just felt like it was wrong on her part as a woman, because if roles were reversed, she would have never wanted that. You just find out about
Never
her,
would have wanted.
and
No
you've been
woman
with
would
someone
want that.
for right. You've been with someone for so many years. You've established a relationship with them. You've had children, and it's like, yeah, you lose that person. It's like, dang, you don't expect, maybe one or two will come forward, because that's most females. They're gonna go and they camera roll and find what they can. That's fine, but out of respect for her, like I said, this stuff kind of, instead of making his death more about them, it should be more about him.
Mm-hmm.
So I just felt like she spun the narrative like she was just holding on to something like, oh, let me drop this. Like a lot of people saying, why didn't you put this out when he was alive? Why didn't you
Right.
put this to the girlfriend? Why is this waiting until he passed for this huge secret to come out? And it's like, it's gonna gain clout, because at this point, everybody's gonna be asking questions, everybody's gonna want interviews, it's gonna get messy. And she knew that. She's been in
Yeah.
TV and entertainment for too long to not know it's gonna get messy.
I feel like it's also kind of like smearing his name. Like, dang, not people gonna be looking at the situation differently. Like, we want to
Right.
just remember him for being an artist. We don't want
Right.
to remember him thinking about how he cheated on his girlfriend for 15 years. Like, I don't know. I just feel
Right.
like her timing was just very poorly. Like, why? The man not even buried
She
yet. Like,
knew,
and you
she
just
knew what she was
immediately.
doing here. It was very calculated. She knew because she didn't even wait a little
That's
minute
what
to drive. I mean,
I'm saying.
post at least a little video or something, maybe hold her hands out to eat or something. But it's give a lovey dovey kiss up on her. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
That's so much.
yeah.
So I feel like it was very like she could have maybe chose a not so intimate moment and share it and say something sincere, but it was just so intimate. So it's like, God dang, we had no choice but to judge her like, wait a minute, you knew this, you knew that, and it's like she should have just maybe waited till also the main girlfriend spoke out,
Mm.
and then everybody
Mm.
could have that was close to him could have shown, some kind of support or shown how they felt or whatever the case was. But for them to beat her to it is insane. The
It's
girl was
super
whipping that.
insane.
It's
My
crazy.
auntie says she wants to stay relevant. Yeah, I feel like she had a missed opportunity. Like, oh
Right.
man, he's gone now. So let me hurry up and share it because if I
Uh-huh.
don't do it now, nobody's gonna ever know that we ever had anything going on. I want people to know like we had something going on. But why? Like if you were a secret when he was alive, stay a secret. Like why
Right.
come out now that he's gone? You know he would have never approved of you posting that. So it's just weird. So it's like she's proving what her place in his life was when like all we knew was the girlfriend and the kids. We didn't know anything about his side piece. That's that man life, you know. Don't because like I say, it's almost as if you're like smearing his name a little bit too. Because come on now, it's not acceptable to be having side pieces, but that's nobody's business. So now you don't put his business out there. Now we all know that he was cheating on the girlfriend. We didn't have to know that. We just want to remember him being an artist, and you know what
Right.
I'm saying. We don't need to know that he was messing with you on the side. Clearly, he didn't care enough to put you in a public, you know, granted they did go out to public places, but again, why we never knew about it? Why you
Yeah,
had to come out and say it
probably,
after the fact?
probably dealt the NDAs, probably had got both of
And I
and
guess it's not relevant once he
it's
passed, but it should have
right,
been. They need to
right.
write that somewhere in there.
It's broken. But I feel like all the other girls and stuff that came out, like you said, I feel like they all had NDAs. This would make sense why they would have never posted anything or whatever the case was. Because he passed now, it's like he doesn't really have a say. But it's almost like they kind of rubbing it in her face too, like, oh, we shared the man kind of thing, and that's what.
Right.
But I just feel like they're not thinking about her. They're thinking about themselves and the fact like, oh, they want to be
Mm-hmm.
attached to his name. And that's the thing. Once the artist dies, they're going to blow up. So they want to attach themselves to that name. So when that blows, oh, this blog's going to say this person came out and said, that's exactly what happened. Everybody came out, did their picture, say something. This person got dragged in the blog and this person and this person. And we're finding about all these people that I didn't even know about till he passed.
Yo,
So they
did she
attack.
open the door for the other side pieces? Because I did hear more women came out, but I didn't see.
There's two others that came out. There was one the girl that came out, one of them said she met him in a 20 versus 1. And it's funny because I watched that 20 versus 1.
Oh man, I saw clips of it.
He's a funny person. I had watched that. I think No Laugh Mar or something No Lamar had posted on YouTube, and he's funny. I guess she was saying like she basically met him there, and they were more like a mutual friend. Like that's just a friend. She just met him in March. But once you come out as a female and say, "Well, that's my friend," or "My heart's broken," automatically, I know you're not putting on lip gloss while I'm having a
Keep
conversation.
talking. I hear you.
Oh my goodness! But I feel like a lot of times, like once you start talking about a man and a female, they automatically gonna link y'all together. And I think that's why she kept saying,
Mm-hmm.
well, like, if y'all don't group me, like, I'm not Erica, I'm not looking for clout, like, I'm just showing my friend support. But once you come out as a female, after Erica came out and did all that, they're gonna consider you to be a side piece. They're gonna be like, oh, you was with him during this time, y'all look a little comfortable, side piece. They're not even gonna try to hear you out.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's that, and then there's another girl that was in the car with him, and I was like, God dang, like they say, he ain't hiding none of these videos. He very much was open because he knew he had an NDA on him, and they couldn't say
Yeah.
nothing. They have all these pictures and videos, but they couldn't post it.
He had to still be somewhat strategic because we didn't know anything about them, even though they were public. Maybe the time of day he was taking them out, or maybe he just
That's
knew
what I'm
like
saying. They
secret locations.
could record it for themselves,
Yeah,
but they probably couldn't.
yeah, and they couldn't post it.
Right. So I'm saying, like, that's why he wasn't scared to be seen in none of them. I said, oh, that
But
boy was.
as the girlfriend,
Oh, what you finna do? I mean, he done did his dirt and it's come to light now. What you gonna do?
I can't say because it's
I'm
disrespectful. But
like,
like,
you
bro,
can't re-hurt him.
I can't say. But it's just like that's just
You
very
have
distasteful of the
It's
woman.
it's not shocking though. I don't feel like it's shocking. I really don't
The
think so
girlfriend
because
probably knew though, because
she,
as a woman, you
she's
know these
you
things.
you know, and she's been with
Yeah.
him for 15 years. He's also an artist. They were together when they're young, so it's kind of like if a guy is also just used to you. Sometimes they all I don't know how true this is, but I've heard this. They always say the first 7 years of marriage, a man's gonna cheat at least once. Now that's not guaranteed. That's just what I've heard from people that are married. And I'm
Dang.
like, if he love you, that ain't gonna happen. But you know, as an artist and someone who's very big, that could be the case. He had this girlfriend support him all the way through, and it's kind of like same thing with that girl. They call her Stewie. What's her name?
Uh,
Jalen.
Jaden, Jaden
Jaden,
Alexis.
whatever, her.
Yeah.
So she's been with like Blueface, for example, since they were so, from so long. So
High
she's so
school.
attached to him. They have kids together, all that. But it's like once he got big and blew up, it's like, okay, he's gonna entertain girls. He's gonna tell you he's entertaining. So I feel like a lot of artists, that's a lifestyle they have to portray and a lifestyle they have to live. Some do it down low, some very proud about it. So I feel like as a girlfriend that is long term, at some point in time he might step out on you. Like you're gonna know the signs, you're gonna peep
Yeah.
that. But she probably also been there. She has, his kids, like they've been together for so long. So sometimes it's worth it to fight for. It just depends on the person.
Yeah. She
And who's
probably feel like just come with the lifestyle.
who's to say that these things weren't like when they first started dating from years ago? And it just looks recent because we're now seeing it. It could have been like she knew about all these females too, but now it looks bad to us. You know what I'm saying? Because we're just not seeing it for the first time, but maybe he already done told her, like, listen, this happened about 2-3 years ago. We gonna get over it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of
Yeah.
females are forgive, and keep it moving.
I get that, but it's like let's handle those issues in private. For them to publicize it, I feel like is a slap in a girlfriend's face, whether she knew about them or not.
Right.
Don't put the business out there. Like y'all could have came to me as a woman and been like, "Hey, can we post the picture? Look,
No, but
can we post
what
the?"
I said. That's what I said.
Yeah.
They didn't have to go to her asking permission, but they could have went with her with respect, in order to not smear his image as much. And with respect to her, you could have went to her and be like, listen, I don't know if he said nothing to you, but me and him had a situation going on, and out of respect for him, I'm letting you know, like, you ain't asking for permission, but you letting her know, like, listen, I'm gonna be posting some things that you may not agree with, but that's just me grieving. That's my way of showing it, just out of respect. So
Yeah.
she don't
So
feel
she gets
so
a heads up.
blindsided. Right.
Mhm. And I feel like there's just certain pictures and images you don't do. Do the ones where y'all kind of look like friends.
Right.
Don't do the ones where y'all
Right.
literally
That's
look
why I
like
said
y'all a couple.
the less intimate ones they could have posted. They could have posted them out eating or something. But it's like, baby, they was just waiting to drop them videos. They wanted us to see that. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Let
that
the
was just very
man,
distasteful.
let him rest.
Yeah,
So
very distasteful. Well, rest in peace, Rich Homie Quan. We're gonna keep streaming your music. I was listening to him literally a week before he passed, and I'm like, I was thinking to myself, I wonder what he got going on. And then this happened. I was like floored. I'm like, I know you lying. Like this is just
you
crazy.
know how I found out he passed? I was watching Drewski's thing because he on tour in Chicago or something. Everybody's like R.I.P. Quan, R.I.P. Quan, and I follow a few Quans on YouTube. So I said, wait a minute, who died? Let me go. And then when I went to go, they were like Rich Homie Quan, and I said, no. I had just seen, I think, a clip that they were talking about, the whole thing in courts and everything of the whole situation. So I was like, no, let me go see. Once I went to Instagram and I saw RIP to this and that, and I was like, oh, okay, confirmed. And I was just caught off. So that's how I found out. Everybody was just on YouTube going off about it. And I was like, let me go see what's going on. And I
Yeah, I
thought it was.
wasn't even on social media, but
Oh,
I
when it
got told.
happened? Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to the this or that portion. So we know fall is around the corner. So some of these this or that's are fall fashion related, but it's all still under the umbrella of fashion. So
Okay.
we're going to start with an easy one. Do you like to dress up or dress down? What do you prefer?
For fall? And what?
Whichever. Now, this in general.
Dress up or dress down?
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me a location? Like we going to brunch, we going bowling. What's the
Don't
location?
matter. You can say brunch.
Because I mean, if I'm going bowling, I'm not finna dress
Not
up. A little t.
bowling. Dress up as in like you gonna get cute. You gonna put that. So maybe brunch.
That's what I'm
Maybe you gonna go
saying.
out to a lounge or a
So
club.
like brunch, yes. If it's brunch, lounge, hanging out with friends, definitely dress up. But if it's just kind of something that's casual, like a little ice cream, little bowling, little movies, like no, I dress cute, but nothing over the top. Like just something that's coordinated. A top that might match my shoes, and that's it.
I'm saying in general.
Dress
What are you doing
dress
most?
up.
Okay, say
Mm.
that then.
You gotta
Like
give it a
don't
location
complicate
because
it.
I'm not gonna dress up every
No,
time. I'm not gonna do
not
makeup
all the
if
time.
I
Just like
have
what do you
to
prefer to do? Like what do you enjoy doing more? You like dressing up more.
try. Yeah.
Okay. I enjoy staying casual. Dressing up, I do love, but it just takes so much energy out of me.
A
It
lot.
drains me. It's a lot to dress up. It's a lot. It's a whole thought process, a whole process in and of itself. So I do like to dress up, but on occasion, overall, I dress down and be comfortable. So that's my answer. All right, pants or skirts? And when you think pants, it doesn't always have to be jeans. It can be like any form of pants.
I rather pants. I just feel like it's just more easier to style in a sense. And with skirts, it be riding up, it be moving, it be just be. I like skirts. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong, but I'm gonna tell you why I prefer pants. I feel like you can never go wrong with a pants. So you can style a pants a little bit easier for me than a skirt.
yeah. It is definitely easier to style pants. Skirts, you really have to choose the right top for
Uh
the
huh.
skirt. Yeah. And anybody is welcome to answer. By the way, welcome everyone. Anyone is able to answer these this or that. So for me, I'm gonna say pants as well, but not like jeans and stuff. I stray away from jeans as much as possible. Now during the fall, I do wear jeans a lot because I mean, it's only so much you can wear during the cold. But I prefer like the stretchy material. I don't know, something that's not gonna be tight and restricting me.
Right.
So, but I want to get more into skirts. I do like skirts. I feel like when they're not too short, they can be comfortable. They're cute, classy, demure. You know, I just had to say that. I just had to say
I know you just wanted to squeeze that word out one last time.
that.
It's been out of season. Let's do this.
You
Let's
know, a
bring back
skirt is
the
very
Lulu.
cute,
The
classy,
Lulu.
demure.
Let's do that, baby.
So yeah, we just answered pants versus skirts. Pants it is. All right. This is definitely a fall related question. Long boots or short boots?
If it's
Long
short
or
boots
short?
with heels, I'm gonna go short. If it's heels,
Mm-hmm.
I'll do long with no heels.
But
So
which one overall?
I don't know, bro. Give me a state. You have to give me scenarios for me to know. Like
Like overall, you're dressing up to
if
not
I'm
dressing
like,
up, but you're putting on something. Not dressing up, because if I say dressing up, you're gonna say yeah, get the
alright,
heels.
sure, I'm gonna say
But
heels.
like, okay, you're just putting on something
I would
casual.
rather okay, so I'm gonna say the long boots, like the thigh high boots. I like those
Uh huh.
better. It gives more fall vibes. But if we're going to like a dinner, brunch, something in the weather, I feel like a
The
little
short one.
heel booty, like a little ankle booty, is cute. But overall, I like a thigh high boot. It's just the problem is, baby, when it gets to your thigh and want to move, it do too much, absolutely too much. But I like the look of it.
Agree. I be feeling like it don't really fit me. I feel like the thigh high boots are like there's a maximum amount of thigh meat you can have.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Once you see that maximum,
Uh-huh.
you might as
You got
well
to
wear it
constantly
as a knee
pulling
high or
it up,
something.
right? Pulling it up, moving stuff. You got to keep retying the bow. It get aggravating.
Yeah, it don't really stay into place and it might bust out the seams. I don't know. So
Bust
I
out the seams is
definitely
insane.
want to get more into the thigh highs. They just gotta fit my thighs.
Mm-hmm.
But I do love a knee high or right above the knee is good too. A little bit below the knee is okay, but I usually like knee and above. So whichever one of those. But yeah, long boots for me. That's what I prefer. Okay, when it comes to the color, like fall colors, burgundy or burnt orange, like which one would you gravitate towards more, burgundy or
Um,
burnt orange?
Speaking of burnt orange, look at me, girl. I like a little burnt orange.
Yeah. What are
I
those?
would have got
Nuts?
these because it said pumpkin spice girl just because it's fall. I prefer burnt orange. I like, I don't know. I like all the colors. Like I like anything like brown,
Yeah,
anything
the browns,
off browns, dark brown. Like I like all of those, but I would say burnt orange. It's
burnt
like I don't know.
orange.
It gives me more of a like a feel of fall
Hmm.
because the leaves turn and all that.
Agree. Yeah, I agree. I find myself gravitating, not even just burnt orange. I just find myself gravitating towards orange in general, and I'm like,
Yeah.
dang, why am I liking orange so
Me
much?
and orange, me and orange go
To go
together
together
real.
real bad. Yeah, that's one of my bright colors that I like. I don't know.
Love
If
orange.
it's not that baby, it's black.
I don't know what it is. I feel like orange, but when you are like more melanated too, I feel like orange makes you pop. I know I
Makes you
always get compliments on
glow.
orange and yellows and like bright colors.
Hmm.
If I do like a purple or a pink, I get that too. But mainly yellow and orange, I don't know what it is. It just kind of brings more of a feature to you or a look to you. I don't know. I prefer
Yeah, it really brings out your skin.
yeah.
And yeah, for me, purple, I get a lot of purple and like royal blue. I get a lot of compliments on those two colors. But yeah, I need to incorporate more colors in general
I love
because
colors. I love me, girl. I
I know
switch up
you love
so quick.
colors, but I'm having to force myself into it because I
I
gravitate
feel
towards black.
like when you're at a certain age, well, I'm gonna speak on hair. Like I like to switch up. I like to do a little, a little red sometimes, a little orange, a
Hmm.
little purple. Like I do like hair, but I feel like when you're at a certain age, I don't know. Maybe my opinion might change on that, but I feel like when you're like 35, 40, it's like don't nobody want to see colored hair like that. Maybe you want to do like a little, a little swoop or a little something to but it's like looking at a 4-year-old at a job with purple hair is just I don't know.
They
It's
can't. I'm pretty sure their job, unless
it
they got a
just
job that don't care.
right. So I feel like that's good when you kind of get that out. I don't want to put the label of 30 and 35 because you could do whatever at whatever age, but it's almost like we're expecting younger people to do these things,
Hmm.
and it's kind of like a season. So, but I still like my color hair and stuff. I just minimize how much I do it because I rock me a little blue hair now and again, and I wear it for about a week
Woo!
and it's done.
Blue hair
I've
is
done
insane.
blue, I've done, blonde, I've done orange. Like I've done all these colors because it's
Yeah,
just fun to do around like the season, the holiday season. It's cute to get, like the little colors and stuff. That's pretty.
agree.
But I feel like at a certain point in time, maybe further down in life, it's like, okay, I'm going to shift from that and kind of do more neutral, like a little brown, a
Hmm.
little black. It just looks more professional and it looks more like you got your head together,
More
versus
mature.
Demore. What you say?
Demure. I didn't want to say it.
So,
I'm like, I'm gonna let you say
so
it.
I don't know. That's just my opinion. I just feel like as a 50-year-old with red hair, it's just I don't know. It just made me know that you might be ready to tussle. It just I don't know. It gives me childish in a sense.
Not childish.
It does
Well,
like
red might not be too bad as long as it's not like a super fiery
red,
bright
but
red.
like a 50-year-old with like an orange, a little
But yeah,
yellow.
them blues and pinks and orange and
Yeah.
yeah,
But when
that
I feel
might
like
be
when
too
you're a little
much.
bit younger though, it's good to do that. It's fun, get out your
Yeah,
system. It's cute.
for sure.
It is, but I don't just not too. I don't know, not too much.
I went through my phase where I was doing like purple. I think I did purple. I did pink. I did like you say blonde. Um,
I
and
love
then
me
the
a
different
blonde.
shades of brown. Like I
There's
went through that phase
Devontae in
too,
here with a bust down blonde.
huh?
I said
And I keep
Devontae.
wanting. So I've never done blonde with like a wig or anything. I've only done it with braids. So all of those colors I'm naming have been with braids. I've never been bold enough to do it with the actual like wig or like sewing. I don't know. I'm
I've,
scared.
I've done it. All what I'm talking about has been with wigs, honey. But again, it's because I've done it for like I usually people wait for like 2 weeks, just depending. Sometimes three, depending on how good they lay the lace down. But like a nice color, sometimes like anything like burnt or darker
Yeah,
than your color. Color is very pretty. It's not as long as it's not like a bright pink or a bright
yeah.
yellow, like something bright. If it's like a dull, like a
Darker
burnt
tone.
orange, that's gonna be pretty. So if it's like a darker tone like blonde, I've done blonde. I've done platinum blonde like once, and then I've done a mixture of blonde the second time, and I've done that, and I loved it. But it's not something I'm gonna get up and do every
Right,
couple of
right,
weeks.
right, right.
If I'm in the mood, I'm gonna do it. But and when you have it, I feel like it kind of like puts a stigma on you too when you have certain type of hair. It's just so people just associate it.
Stereotype.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yep, agree. All right, moving on. The last one is a mini purse or like maybe an average size purse. Which one are you
Um,
grabbing first?
I like a mini purse. I have those cute little tiny. I can't. If I had known,
Yeah, the
I had those.
real tiny ones. That's you, baby.
I
That's
had the.
micro.
Yeah, I got the micro ones, and baby, all I got in there is cards and a few little dollars. And people are like, "What do you fit in there?" I'm like, everything I need: my ID, my license, my cards, and some cash. What else do you need? A little lip gloss could go in there. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't need a whole pocketbook that's just empty. That's just weighing me down when I could do a cute little clutch that's this big. It's just convenience. Somebody snatched it off of you. Listen, call the bank, cancel all my cards. Your other person I have a little bit more cash. Like, no.
Yeah,
Let's
I
do
agree.
parts.
Yeah, I think a mini purse. At first, it took me a minute to get into the mini purses because I'm just
Right.
like, I was like those people that you mentioned, like, what the heck am I gonna fit into this purse? And
Uh-huh.
then I realized it's easy to condense as a woman. Like I'm thinking, I need to have all this space, and you really don't. Like you said, that purse be half empty, so
And then
75% empty.
you just find stuff to put in there. I mean, you need a little lip gloss. You need a little cash. Your
Your
license.
cards,
Oh, what else do you need in your purse? I mean, you might need a little mace and a little,
right.
wow. But that's not always. Just depends on the situation and where you're
Where
going.
you go in the environment, yeah.
Right.
Agree.
You're not gonna need it for every.
Especially when you dressing up and you got a cute little look together. The mini
Right.
purses are so cute with the look. You know what I'm saying? So cute and simple. It
I,
doesn't weigh you down.
I be borrowing Elena. Sometimes I be like, let me borrow your purse because it's so
Not
little.
borrowing your daughter purse.
All mine are like medium size. I do have some of the small ones, and I get a lot of people ask me for that, and I get compliments on those. They're like, "Oh my god, it's so small! Like,
So
what do you
cute and
get that?"
tiny.
Right,
Yeah.
it's too big. But
Yeah. Agree. All right, sis. Well, we've been on here for how long? We talked about some very fun topics. I had a great time chatting with you. It's always a pleasure. This concludes tonight's live. Make sure you are following both me and Chanel. Follow the podcast Instagram page at Live and Unfiltered. Click the link in the bio and follow our YouTube page. This full video will be posted on the YouTube page as well, and short clips will be posted on the Instagram page throughout the week. So make sure you're following both, and we will see you next week on Chanel's page. That's it. That's all I have.
good night,
Have a
y'all.
good
Have
night.
balloons.